to 10,000. It's very hard to estimate how many.
Not because I think that if I'm elected President of the United States, poverty will disappear, or illiteracy will no longer be with us, or that the war in Vietnam will suddenly end. I don't promise any of those things, but I do promise to you here in Portland and the state of Oregon that I will talk about the issues with candor and with truth. I do believe that the American people are generous and compassionate, and I believe that we can do much better than we've done over the period of the last few years. This is a difficult campaign. I recognize that it's a difficult campaign. I'm going across this state, I'm going across the United States, and I'm going to talk about what I think are affecting our country and what I think we can do over the period of the next few years. But in the last analysis, I need your help. I need your help to make sure you're registered and your friends are registered. I need your help to go out and work with your friends in your homes and in the places of business. I need your help over the period of the next 2 months. If we can win this election here in Oregon, if we can win in May, we'll then go on to win in California in the first week in June. I think that if we can do that, we can win the convention in August in Chicago. We can beat Richard Nixon in November. This is not to say that we must never fight wars because they are expensive or because they require sacrifice. To meet our responsibilities and to protect our security, we may again someday have to pay the cost of engaging in armed conflict. But the lesson of Vietnam is that we must look ahead to see in what we are becoming involved, that we must understand the costs, both monetary and otherwise, in any particular situation in which we become involved. I've been discussing the war in Vietnam for a long period of time, not only because I believe that we could begin negotiations for peace, not only because I believed we were mistakenly pursuing a purely military solution to what was a far more complicated problem and situation, but also because I believed that we were Americanizing the war.
Where these logs drift in is the part that we want to make public. Now, Governor Oz West only went as far as the wet sand portion there. And this is the zone where the great recreation is.
It's a beautiful beach. No question it has to be preserved.
These are the kinds of efforts that I think must be made in that part of the world. I think we can change the course of action in South Vietnam. I think we can change many of the things that are happening here within the United States. I think that we can change the face of this country. But in order to do that, I need your support. I think this is an important campaign because it's going to determine the direction that the United States is going to move in over the period of the next decade. This is a significant and critical election. I think we have to do more in South Vietnam. I think we have to do more in connection with our relationship with the undeveloped nations of the world. I think we have to end the deep divisions that exist within our own country, divisions that exist because of the color of people's skins, their age, or their beliefs on Vietnam, or their beliefs on what we should do about our domestic problems. I'm delighted to be here. I'm delighted to see all of you, and I want to express my appreciation to all of you for coming down so early in the morning and Saturday morning to greet all of us. I wanted to come to Oregon City because I'm anxious to present my campaign all across the state of Oregon. You're one of the few states in which the people themselves actually make the choice. In most parts of the United States, it's political leaders who meet and they decide who's going to be the nominee of the Democratic Party. But here in the state of Oregon, the people themselves decide. That's why I come here. That's why I come here to ask for your support. That's why I come here to ask for your assistance, because you are the ones that decide. We cannot continue to deny and postpone the demands of our own people while spending billions in the name of freedom elsewhere around the globe. No nation can exert greater influence or power in the world than it can exercise over the streets of its own capital. And I think we have to recognize that as well. No government can sustain international law and order unless it can do so also at home. No country can lead the fight for social justice unless its commitment to its own people is credible and determined, unless it seeks jobs and not the dole for men, unless it feels anguish as long as any of its children are hungry, unless it believes in opportunity for all of its citizens, all across this land. Our future may lie beyond our vision, but it is not beyond our control. Alfred Lord Tennyson once wrote, "The lights begin to twinkle from the rocks. The long day wanes. The slow moon climbs. The deep moans round with many voices. Come, my friends, 'tis not too late to seek a newer world." I come to you today to say that we can build a newer and better nation. I say we can do so, that we must do so, and that we will do so.